Hello, Internet Nation. Alex and Ashley here. Valentine's Day was yesterday. Yeah, I believe so. It's Monday now, and yesterday was Sunday, and it's the 15th. I cannot check. It is the 15th. Part of me is very depressed about that because I have a package coming on the 17th, and it's the 15th. And I mean, it's all really depressing because all of those packages, literally all of them, all of those packages are at my local post office since Saturday. So they should be here today, but I guess USPS doesn't work on Mondays. So I'm very sad about that, but this isn't about my sadness, no. So Valentine's Day was yesterday, and I mean, I'm kind of a stickler now that I am 1,028 years old. I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to holidays because a lot of them are just kind of like capitalist money grabs, and the real values of the holidays have been lost. Like, you know how Christmas was kind of a pagan holiday. Was Christmas? Was it Christmas? Yeah, I think it was Christmas I was thinking of. It was a pagan holiday, and then they made it the birth of Christ to get rid of paganism and phase that out and kind of like. But then, like, even everybody says Christmas is about being together and family and blah blah, like Thanksgiving or whatever. But then people open their presents and then they go on about their lives. Sorry, I have ADHD. I get really distracted really easy. I was shaking this airbrush paint in white. But yeah, people lose the whole meaning of the holidays. So then you have your useless holiday number 69, Valentine's Day, and everybody gets so caught up in the capitalism of it all. It's never about like, oh, I have to, or oh, I want to go out of my way to like make my partner feel special or blah blah blah. I mean, like, we shouldn't have a day to celebrate love or a day all about love or a day where we all buy stuff because of love or whatever. We should just like do these things all the time, show the people in our lives that they matter to us and that we care about them all the time. There shouldn't be a day to like buy your partner flowers or a teddy bear or take them to dinner. That's just a thing that couples do, you know? But like, I know a lot of times people end up alone on Valentine's Day, and that makes them like super sad because nobody likes being single and nobody likes being alone on Valentine's Day because everybody else is all out there being all lovey-dovey and mushy-gushy and whatnot. But like, we as people have to like remember, like, while we're all doing it, we get caught up. Actually, I was gonna make this video about something else, and I just started talking about Valentine's Day. Maybe I'll transition to it. Maybe I'll make another video. But this is also important because, like, there's nothing wrong with being alone. A lot of the people who are in relationships should not be in relationships because a lot of people have a terrible relationship with yourself and, well, with themselves. And, like, if you're not going to be able to sit there and offer yourself patience, understanding, leeway, if you can't sit there and be like, okay, I understand that, like, I should not have said this to that person, but I was really upset, and, like, I really don't like it when they take my fries because, like, I didn't have a lot of food growing up as a kid, so, like, now I get really guarded and defensive and feel like somebody's trying to make me starve and suffer when they take my food away. So I get really mad and fighty and whatnot. This is just an example I'm making up off the dome. But, like, you know, if you can't sit there and be like, okay, I understand that sometimes I act out of character because I'm dealing with this thing. And I need to understand that it's okay that sometimes I act out of my face and do things that I'm not proud of because I'm still healing right now and I'm still dealing with something. like, if you can't do that for yourself, you're not going to be able to be like, okay, I understand that, like, you're having a really rough day, and you just kind of, like, you feel safe with me, so you, like, feel comfortable, or you allow yourself to say some things that you might, like, not truly mean, but you're just upset. And it's like, I'm not going to take it personal because right now you're upset, and, like, I should just detach from, like, the way you might have made me feel. Like, unless, well, you know, we always have the option to detach from the way that we feel and, like, just understand that the person that made us feel that way, it's not usually about us. Like, oftentimes somebody is dealing with their own thing, and that's why they do what they do. And it's not just like, oh, I hate this person, I want them to feel shitty. Which a lot of times it's not just like, I hate this person, I want them to feel shitty. It's like, I hate myself and I feel shitty. So I'm going to take this out on that person because they have it better than me, or I think I'm better than them, or they're weaker than me and there's nothing they can do about it, or whatever it is. So, like, not to mention, a lot of times we can't accept ourselves as we are. Because, like, everyone's always like, oh, yes, this person is broken and this person is damaged, which I don't think that's a good way to describe a person unless, like, you're at to the point where your mind has literally snapped and you are not in control of anything anymore, and you're just, like, having hallucinations. I feel like I'm saying it right, but I feel like I'm saying it wrong. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong because this giant hole in my tongue that alters the way I say words. Hallucinations. Let me know if I'm saying it wrong. But anyway, like, if your mind is broken, then yeah, you can say that person is broken. And, like, a lot of people think that people are crazy when it's like, people call me crazy all the time, and it's like, I'm literally consciously aware everything that I did, I chose to do. Even when I'm sitting there like, oh my god, I shouldn't do that. This is not the best thing. That is not the best move to make. And I still make it. I'm aware of all of that, you know? Like, even when I do things that seem risky, I chose to do that. Even when it's like, I don't know. Like, some people, they just choose to do things, and other people think that there's something wrong with the way people live their life because they don't understand, and they're not trying to understand, you know? So, like, unless your mind is broken and your arm is broken, do not refer to yourself and do not refer to others as broken, because people are people. Trauma is, like, prevalent in this society that humans have established. Every time humans talk about the world, they are referring to society. Society is their world. Their world is completely separate from the rest of the world. I don't know if, like, a lot of people realize that, but the world is not the world. Earth and Gaia are two different things, metaphorically. And it's not the same. Okay, I made the transition. We're there now. But I feel like I just skipped over a bunch of stuff. So back to the Valentine's Day stuff. Like, don't feel bad if you're not in a relationship and you don't have somebody to, like, show you that you're important. Because then that's where you come in. And then you can show you that you're important. Even if it's just like, oh, I hate myself and I think I'm gross and blah, blah, blah. Well, this is your fucking excuse to do something for yourself. Well, yesterday was your fucking excuse to do something for yourself. And if you're seeing this and you were in that mindset yesterday, this is your fucking excuse to do that for yourself today. Because today is second Valentine's Day. Because, like, fuck St. Valentine's Day. Who was that nigga anyway? I'm pretty sure there was a slaughter tied to that nigga. You know? So, like, it doesn't matter what day it is. Just take some time to make yourself feel special. Because, like, for one, how are you going to know how to make somebody feel special if, like, you don't know how to make yourself feel special? And how are you going to have somebody make you feel special if you don't know what makes you feel special? I ain't hitting you with that logic now. But, it's important that we, you know, are comfortable with ourselves, that we, like, don't mind being with ourselves, that we are happy with ourselves before we try to, like, venture off and be with other people. Because then, think of it this way. When you have two people in a relationship and neither person is like comfortable with themselves. Oh, you got the hiccups. Neither person is comfortable with themselves, or neither person knows how to communicate, or neither person is honest with themselves. It's not going to work out. Like, if you can't admit to yourself that you're not happy, how are you going to like convince another person that you are happy? And then even then, a lot of the time you have to make sure that we're not like relying all of our, like, the responsibility of us. Because, like, yes, it's nice when other people take the responsibility of us, but we still have an obligation to ourselves to take care of ourselves, and we're still the one that's responsible. Like, at the end of the day, it's just you. I mean, it's not just you, we're all interconnected, but it's just you and your billions of reflections of you, you know? So you have to be open to you and to all of them. I mean, something fun I like to do is to take a look at the people around me. I like to give them advice. And then I like to take that advice and reflect on it and see how it like pertains to me, because the people around me are dealing with very specific problems that they refuse to let go of, as am I. And some people, their prevalent problems are intertwined with my prevalent problems. So like, I'll be given my friend advice and then I'm just like, well, damn, I'm basically just speaking to myself, which gives me the wherewithal, the confidence to kind of just like not be an ass about it, but be harsher with it. Because then at the same time, it's like, I know I'm talking to myself, so I'm not going to hold back on this bullshit. Like, we both need to hear it, because we both need to stop doing this bullshit. And then you just get to the point where it's like, I'm tired of saying stuff, because nobody's listening to me besides me. But, like, there's a lot I can't do. Like, a friend of mine is dealing with, like, he wants to find love, but then he doesn't want to be involved with anybody that would offer him a healthy relationship. And then it's like, I want to find love. And it's not that I don't want to give anybody a shot. I mean, I'm not like physically attracted to a lot of my suitors. So, I don't really like push for these relationships. But at the same time, I also am aware of the fact that 9 times out of 10, I'm going to make somebody like work for it. You know? I mean, most people usually just fail when it comes to wooing me. Because they're all just like, you do porn, you must like sex. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm also waiting for marriage. If your name isn't Mike and you're handing me $1,000, then, and yes, it has to be these two factors. Your name has to be Mike and you have to hand me $1,000. Mike, whatever this man's last name is. Mike Dirty. You gotta be Mike Dirty and hand me $1,000. Otherwise, the starting price is $1,500, and 9 times out of 10, I don't even do those. Because there's never a mood where I'm just like, yeah, I can go for some casual sex with a stranger who I don't know how they're gonna treat me, but they didn't talk to me respectfully in the first place, so I already know that they're just gonna violate my trust and my body if I let them touch me sexually. So yeah. And I mean, sometimes I wish I could just be a money slut. Just like, somebody just comes at me with like 10 hundreds, and I'm just like, oh, hundreds. I love hundreds. Hundreds are my weakness. It's a crisp $100 bill. Love them. Love them. But that's not about this. This is about self-love. So, if you spent yesterday alone, take some time to maybe buy yourself flowers. Draw yourself a picture. Draw yourself a card. That would be cute. Just like, do something nice for yourself. And don't just like focus on not having a partner. Because like, so many people are in relationships and they're not happy. They're not being loved the way they want. Like, I keep having conversations with dudes where they're all like, oh, well, I had this one conversation with dude, and then I had a very passionate, loud, explosive conversation with my bro about the fuckery, because I watched ReZero recently. I've been watching season 2, which apparently is ongoing. I barely remember season 1. but I've been watching season 2, and spoiler warning, kinda, sorta, somewhat, there is a part in the season where Amelia asks Subaru to hold her hand throughout the night, and she wakes up at one point and he's gone. And mind you, the part, like, all of this is just some typical shit, but the fact that all of this happened in an anime and now people are learning this, and guys are arguing that what he did was justified. But you see, as a person who knows where Amelia currently is, like, all this bullshit is happening, her memories are coming back, she's remembering everything. That's traumatic. That's so traumatic for her, and all she's telling you straight up, if you stay with me, if you stay by my side, I will not only allow you to love me the way you want, believe that you actually care about me, but it will heal the trauma of everybody else lying to me. All I need is for you to stay here by my side and hold my hand throughout the night. He said, I will do that for you. Which, mind you, first red flag for me was while he has his hands balled on his legs. He's just sitting there the way Japanese kids usually do in animes. And she puts her hand on his hand and says, will you hold my hand? And he says, yes, if that's all you need, I will do it. And I'm just waiting for him to, like, at least unball his hand so she can, like, get some finger connection, maybe flip it over. Nope. And then she wakes up and he's gone. Okay. She's freaking out because of course the fuck she's freaking out. Everybody just fucking left her, and she just asked this dude, finally, like, she finally turned to him and she's like, I need you, will you be there for me? And he's like, yes. And then she wakes up and he's gone. So he sneaks off, does some shit. I'm hearing that it's justified, so I want to believe that my bro is not just a fucking asshat and just being an asshat and just, like, as I fear, justifying this shit as, like, normal male behavior, because I can't tell you how many times in my life I have told somebody, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. Specifically X, Y, and Z. I used to wear a medical bracelet with instructions on what to do if I had a panic attack. X, Y, and Z. You do these 3 things in this order, I will instantly stop having a panic attack. Do people do those things? No. And then they wonder, oh, what's wrong with you? Like, oh, is my effort not good enough? And I'm just like, your effort, your half-ass effort, you had to do 1, 2, 3. You couldn't even do that. Like, what? No, it's not about what you want when a person needs you. It's not about you when a person needs you. So she wakes up and he goes to do something. I'm not gonna say what thing, but she confronts him later and she's like, why did you leave? And I'm like, yes, Amelia, call this nigga out. Call him out. Ask him, why did you leave? All I needed from you was X, Y, and Z. You said you would do it. You did not. Why did you not do it? To which he did not answer. And she's freaking out. I'm freaking out. And he's just like, escalates the situation. He's like, not only do I not respect you enough to answer your question, like, my bro was arguing. It's like, oh, he couldn't tell her because return by death and blah. And I'm like, what does any of that have to do with return by death? He does not have to tell her what's going on he does not have to tell her about dying. None of this involves dying. Why were you not there? Like, he could have said, I was doing something for you. I needed to let you know, so I went to go do something for you. He didn't have to say what it was. He didn't have to say any of this shit. I don't know if he was trying to save everybody else. I don't know what else he was doing during that night, aside from the thing he was doing. But I haven't learned yet. I could barely make it through the next episode. Because after this scene, I was done. To which he starts saying, I love you. You're so hopeless. You're this, you're that, you're blah, you're blah. And she's like, well, if I'm so useless, why do you love me? I don't believe you. I don't believe you because all I asked you to do is this one thing and you didn't do it. So I don't believe you. And he's like, I love you. I love you. I love you. To which I love you is not a response to a question. If somebody needs you to justify why you did something, I love you is not the thing you should be saying. That is gaslighting. That is what these niggas do. And by these niggas, I mean people in general. So, like, I'm losing my mind. Because if he had just answered the question, it would have been fine and dandy. To which my bro was arguing, no, he had to go and do the thing and blah, 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 because he needed her to know that he was there for her. To which I'm just like, or he could have just did what she asked him to do. Then not only would her brain go, Subaru is always there for me. When I need him, he is there because he stayed for me throughout the night. She'd mentally go back to the feeling of him holding her hand, being there, waking up to his smiling face. Don't even get me started on the fact that every time this nigga falls asleep on her, she just sits there with his head on her lap for fucking hours, like she doesn't need circulation in her legs, but the second she falls asleep on him, he's just like, okay, I'm just gonna tuck you in bed and dip. It's like, really, nigga? Why is it that the more consent she gives you, the less horny for her you get? It's like this nigga spent days at her bedside watching her sleep, but the second she's like, I need you to do that thing you always fucking do when you're creeping, you creep ass nigga, and he's like, nope, I love you though. Fucking gaslighting bitch. And this is just something that a lot of people choose to do, and it's like, I need to not have this in my I'm not even gonna say what he does after that shit. If you know, that shit, I still not seeing red. Like fucking A Promised Neverland drained all the serotonin out of me, and then that one scene from ReZero filled me with red. If you know, he violates her and takes advantage of the fact that she is upset. That is what he is doing, and that is what people do all the time. So like, watch that scene. If you need me, like if you're really like fucking determined to understand people better, I will send you that scene. Like, if you haven't seen the scene, I will send you the scene. We could talk about the scene and why it is fucked up. Why it is fucked for him to do all that shit. We could talk about it so you can understand, like, what you should not be accepting from people. And people do that all the time. Like, my friend was saying how because what he does is never what the person asked for, then he feels like, why even bother? Because it's like, I don't want to do the thing you want me to do. But then it's like, why is this the norm for like guys? Why is that the way they think? That they're not going to do what you want, but they're going to do their own rendition of a thing and expect that to work. Like, yes, of course it's not working. Because if I need to be held, what is like buying me food going to do? Like, I need the feeling of another human because this is how I spend my life. You know, my connection comes from my fucking dolls, not people. I don't see my friends as friends because they're not friends. I can't talk about anything real. Literally, we had a whole conversation where I was like, you know, like, he's like, oh, why do you feel I do more for them than I do for you? And it's like, because literally, like, they'll need you to come hold them, and you'll just go hold them. But if I need you to hold me, you'll just be like, no, I'll get horny and sex, and make all these excuses for why you can't be there, and you've been doing that for years. But then it's like, everybody that you see as a romantic interest, then you're fine and dandy, and it's like, oh, you can offer these things, which is like, friendship shouldn't have these kinds of boundaries. You shouldn't be there for your girlfriend, but then not there for your homie. Like, what's the fucking point? We ain't really friends then. We ain't. And if the thing I value the most in my relationships is when people are there for me, when somebody can support me, and all I need is emotional support, because that's what I lacked. Financial support, I got that. Fucking, I don't fucking know. That's the thing. That's the one thing I grew up stable with. There was a roof over my head. There's food on my plate. I had that. I didn't have somebody to talk to about the deep shit. I didn't have somebody to, like, explore ideas with. I didn't have somebody to, like, hold me when I was upset and tell me that I was not in the fucking wrong. Everybody's always telling me I'm wrong because I'm expressing the truth. Like, the fuck? The fuck? Y'all are fucked up. Y'all are doing fucked up shit, and I'm gonna point it out. That there's nothing wrong with me. Love is the fucking answer. It's not my fault that everybody was brainwashed to think that societal norms are universal norms. They're not. A building does not grow out of the ground. It does not exist in nature. It is not part of the world. It was created by man. Like our language, everything was fucking created by man. It's artificial. That is not law. Things we create are not law. You know? Like humans inheriting the earth. That happened because that's about it. Other animals have societies. They're predators out in the wild. Humans are not at the top of the food chain. We just happen to be capable of building societies. Like houses and shit. Expanding past that. Communicating with each other and building from it. That's why we inherited the earth. That doesn't make us better than anything else. It makes us more like efficient and more capable, but it does not make us better. And because we are not better, that does not make our world bigger and greater than the actual world. I swear, there's so many transitions into this, but I'm not going to start talking about normality at the end of this video where it's already taken a very aggressive turn towards you loving yourself, god damn it. So, y'all please, if you want to like learn how to recognize gaslighting, please talk to me. Please talk to me. I have been gaslit since the day I was born. I'm pretty sure like I have one of my earliest memory is like falling out of a chair as a baby, and it does not help that they took a picture of the moment just before I fell out the chair. Like, who puts a baby in a rocking chair with like no arms? It's a baby, bro. They can't even like hold themselves up. I was bound. They put me in the chair knowing I was gonna fall. And that's one of my earliest memories. You know? Like, I'm pretty sure they blamed me. Like, Mom, why can't you hold yourself up, Ashley? Like, my bones is still soft. The fuck? Why are you blaming me when you put me, the baby, in the rocking chair? It's not even a stable chair. You think I'm gonna stay still? I can't even hold myself up, and the chair can't even hold itself up. The fuck? So, I know a thing or two about what it means to be gaslit, especially when I was growing up talking about love is the answer. I don't understand. It's like, what's the problem? Why don't the rich people just feed the poor people? It's that simple. Like, nigga, if I had billions of dollars, I would not have money. I'd just be, even when I had fucking food stamps, I was like, hey, I got extra money. Let's go. Let's go to this store. Let's go to Dwayne Reed. What you want? You want some cookies? You want some juice? You want these sandwiches? No. $50 limit. Go. $50. That's what you got. Go. Cause money is imaginary. The fuck? Money is imaginary. We made that shit up. We didn't make the people. I don't understand why we value the imaginary shit over the actual people, over our connections and shit. My pits are fucking sweating. I hate how like hot this poncho is for no fucking reason. I mean, I love that it's hot, but like, damn, I'm not wearing anything under here. Why are my pits running? There is sweat down to my elbow. How fucking hot this thing is. But anyway, so like, how can I tie the beginning and the ending in? For one, love yourself enough to know what you deserve and what you don't deserve. And two, love yourself enough to know when you're being gaslit. Because sometimes we be wrong. But you know when you're not wrong when it comes to your feelings. That's just how it is. You're not wrong. You feel how you feel. And that's how you feel. If people don't want to accept that, they're fucking assholes. They're gaslighters. You know? I mean, sometimes we're wrong. But if it's like, hey, I don't like when you do this. It's a feeling. There's a reason you feel that way. Don't let people tell you that you're wrong. Like what that nigga Subaru did was some fuck shit. And what he did not, unless he did some more. Unless he was also out there saving the people in the castle. I don't think he was doing that. I think he spent the entire night doing what he did, which does not justify it, because not only did he have an opportunity to heal past trauma that she had came to him with, he would have healed their relationship, built it better, possibly gotten to the point, like, my nigga, why are you spending all this time dying over her if you're not even going to treat her right? If you're just going to tell her, oh, I love you, instead of actually telling her, like, she was right. Like, he was giving her the same reasons why she's useless as why he loves you. Like, I love your skin, I love your hair, I love the way you look. What? 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 Subaru, what? Talking about, oh, you don't even look cute in this moment as I'm confessing my love. Who is this doppelganger? Did another clone walk out of that stone? I don't think that's how that shit works. But anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. Now I'm thinking about anime, and we started talking about Valentine's Day. So I guess this is a twofer. I'm gonna end this here, you guys. Until next time, happy Valentine's Day. Know that I love you, and I appreciate you. If nobody in this world loves and or appreciates you, I do. And so does BMO. Bye.